Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Popcorn and Coffee Table Talk. We're here to talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 2. I'm your host, Jesse. Have with me, as always, Jahaziel. How are you, sir?
What's up, everyone? How we doing tonight?
We're knocking this stuff out, knocking it out of the park.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to jump right into it. Coming off the back of the first episode, which we both thought was kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
Little subdued, little mellow.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts about this one before we go into any spoiler specifics? What were your thoughts about the tone of this one compared to the first one?
I did enjoy it a lot better. I now kind of get the flashbacks. It's called the Book of Boba Fett. So it's like telling a story of where he's been and what like he went through and stuff. So the flashbacks now, like him, do not bother me anymore. Like as I was watching it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So, but this episode was a lot better than the first one. I thought it still had there were some issues with it, but definitely better. I like where it's going now.
Yeah, I think the tone of this one was still kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, boring. I don't know if it's just the story that I don't necessarily care about. Between the two stories that were established in the last episode, I care more about what seems to be the current day than I do the flashbacks. You know, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the current setup and him trying to become the new crime lord and stuff. I care a lot about that. This old stuff, I'm just like, okay, yeah, we're here, we're still here. Not that it's bad, I just don't care as much. That being said, I mean, it was a good episode. It was better than the first one.
Yeah. They brought in the episode you get to meet the mayor and stuff that they talked about in the first one, which I didn't care for. Like, okay, it's cool that he's like an alien and stuff, but it was really hard to understand because I heard his actual voice, like his language he was speaking, and then you heard the auto, like the translator,
like the translator, his like modulator thing.
Yeah, so it was like really hard. Like you had to listen really close to see what he was saying, like understand what he was saying and stuff.
That was some of the elements that I really liked.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Again, it was the dual tones of like I hear his voice, but I hear his translator. I hear all of that. I think that's really cool. You would need that in a universe like this,
right?
You know what I mean? It's Google Translate, but
yeah,
galactic. And I think that kind of stuff is really cool. I love seeing the low key Star Wars world stuff, you know, like those stupid, they're not stupid. I think they're really cool. The sand people's dogs. I just think they're legit. You know, I just really like them for some reason. I'm just like, they probably would have some sort of crazy wild dog thing, but
yeah. Go ahead.
As far as acting goes, there really wasn't much there. This was borderline a silent episode for the most part because it's just him talking to sand people.
Yeah.
And they don't talk back. So it's just him.
Yeah. I like some of the characters they introduced. I mean, we got to meet Jabba's niece and nephew. I guess the Hutts are still around. They said it was his niece and nephew.
Oh, I guess I missed that because I didn't know how they were related. Obviously, they're giant slugworm things, so I knew they were the same thing. But
yeah, niece and nephew being carried on a giant,
just people.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll see. So obviously there's still Hutts around, and they make it known that there's still a name to be reckoned. You don't mess with them.
Yeah.
One thing they did with it, and I didn't really care for, is so whenever the Hutts are talking, they have the subtitles at the bottom for the most when they're talking to the Boba Fett. When they're talking to each other, they don't have that, so you don't know what they're saying to each other, and I don't like that. It's like, okay, why don't you have subtitles? Why don't You're
Yeah.
showing them talking to each other. Why can't we know what they're saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't care for that. I thought it was odd that I don't know. I don't remember what his name was. Baby Jabba, Jabba's nephew. He had like a little rat thing and was like patting the sweat away from his face. Like I was like, what in the world?
No different than Java, like eating them frog things.
I mean, yeah, you gotta have a snack,
Little
but
creatures are his toys.
but
I really enjoy the world stuff. In the creatures and all the different kinds of creatures. I'm really enjoying that. There's a lot of what seem to be like prosthetic aliens too, and it's not all CGI, which I really like.
yeah.
Especially those lizard people things,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they were. I don't know what they were. One of them's a bounty hunter in one of the original movies, but there's a lot of them on Tatooine. It seems like
Yeah.
they're all very shady. They're all very shifty-eyed, like lizard people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the thing that's cool. Like with George Lucas, like he created a bunch of these like alien characters and stuff. And with shows like this, you can flush them out more. You can give them a little more. In the Star Wars, the original trilogy, you really only saw like one or two of them, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And then in the series and stuff, now you're seeing like, oh, this is a race of this type of alien. So you get to see a little more and how they live and stuff, kind of. So that's
a lot of the tube head people.
Yes,
whatever those are. Those are gross.
I think it's got cool actually.
I don't think they look bad. I mean, it's just there's a lot of them. They used to be there was, like you said, it'd be one character in a movie and they just pass across the screen or something. And then I like those guys a lot more than I like the Emperor's little sidekick guy, where he's kind of got like horns and then tentacles coming out. That guy was gross, but these guys are fine.
Yeah.
Nobody needs like exposed nerve tentacles or anything.
That's what they looked like. They were exposed nerves. Exactly. Yes. So yeah, we after they talk with the Hutts, then you kind of he goes back into the dream tube. I don't know.
Yeah.
Century the century deprivation.
Resurrection chamber or something in it.
Yeah. And you get a flashback of his time with the Sand People, and he's apparently befriends them.
Yeah.
He's training with them, and there's this giant train speeder that goes around and just shoots the Sand People just because they can. I don't know.
Wild West, man.
Yeah. So Boba Fett goes and he breaks up a Sons of Anarchy biker gang to steal their speeders. I don't know. Like,
again, I like that scene. To me, it's like there would be a Sons of Anarchy biker gang. There would be, of these weird, crazy looking aliens.
Yeah. He steals their speeders, and then he comes. The Sand People say thank you, and then he goes on some kind of Native American dream quest. I don't know. They give him a cocaine lizard.
Yes.
That he snorts or crawls up his nose. And then I don't know, it was like Walker, Texas Ranger or something, just like in Native American sweat lodge. And
those are things that I don't care for as much. I always in my mind picture Star Wars as more grounded. Like, yes, we're in a galaxy far, far away, but not like fantasy mystical,
Yeah.
Like I expected the lizard to just like literally jump on the ground and guide him. I think that's what he thought.
Yeah.
I think that would have been way better than it literally climbing into his nose like we're in some sort of like B-class sci-fi movie and then psychedelically taking him where he
it was psychedelically. Like it was like he did a thing of acid and
only to get the branch. And it's just like, okay, that was a little much. I think it would have been way funnier if he'd have been following this tiny lizard on the ground, talking to it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then been like, what do you want me to do? You want me to take this branch? No, instead he just trips out.
Yeah.
The best part was when it came out of his nose is like, I thought that was part of the hallucination.
Yeah. I think because they've tried to make this more of a Western, like even the Mandalorian had a Western feel, so I think that's kind of why they did that. I don't know if I care for that as much, making the Sand People like Native Americans. They
did that hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know.
I mean, they're natives to the area. I get that, but the movies always portrayed them as the bad guys. You know, they were bad guys.
Yeah.
They were the biker gang in the bar. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They were only there to kill you and steal your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily, and they killed Anakin's mom and stuff like that. They are savages for all intents and purposes. And now they're like, no, we're just misunderstood. But to me, I'm like, no, all you've ever shown me is y'all are savages, like legit. So I don't know. I get it.
You mean like savages like in Pocahontas when they're
I mean
like when the
they're that like primitive force that's being beat up by stronger people. Like I never took them as the ones being bullied. I always took them as the bullier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got it. That makes sense.
To me, that's what I always took it as, but whatever. It worked. That one guy, the samurai one, I guess, was pretty cool.
Yeah. I will. My favorite part of the whole scene was the train fight scene, like when they were trying to take the train over and stuff. It was really shot really well. I mean, it's a green screen, but
it looked like something from like a Solo, a Star Wars story kind of movie.
Yeah,
it was cool. That was fine. But yeah, I didn't need the scene of him making his sand people staff.
Yeah,
like surfs up, making a surfboard. You know, I'd like it's just like, okay, I get it. I get the symbolism, but this isn't Boba Fett either. Like,
right? Yeah,
carry that thing around with him. So what do you do? Is he put it on a shelf somewhere? Does he get to keep it?
I don't know. Yeah. They spent way like. I'm glad they didn't like keep going back and forth like they did in the first episode, but they just spent way too much time on stuff they didn't need to spend time on in this episode. I think just for the purpose of, hey, we've got 45 minutes to fill up here, so we're going to add this. And we're going to add this.
I don't disagree. I think the feel of this episode was better than the feel of the first one. But I didn't necessarily care for all the story beats. You know, I like the stuff with the mayor because the mayor's trying to like low-key bully him back out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to prove a point. Again, he's trying to be a nice guy and a bad guy at the same time. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. And if he just leans full bad guy or if he leans full, because he's willing to be intimidating and he's willing to hurt people when he has to.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't want to be, that's what he's known for now, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You know, I can see in future episodes at this point, we're going to get maybe like 10 minutes of him now where he's at as this thug lord, whatever, taking over Jabba's place. And then the rest of it's going to be a flashback to him up until the point that he gets the suit.
Oh,
I think that's where
we're still with the sand people. We haven't even seen him go to the Jawas and get his stuff back yet.
Yeah. So I honestly think that's where it's going to be. A lot of this season and this series is going to take place in the past. We're going to get like 10-minute clips for most of the season of now where he's at, and then the rest will take place.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. That's not really what I wanted going into it, but we'll, I don't know.
I'm excited to see where it goes. And I mean, there was something else I was going to say. What do you think of the Wookiee?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Wookiee.
Yeah,
when he came out, I was like, that's actually really cool. Like,
that's a big old Wookiee too.
I know. I love the fact they didn't make him like brown, like just looking like Chewbacca. Like he was
and it looked like a bodysuit. Like it did.
Yeah.
It didn't look CGI. It looked legit.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I was just like, dang, I want to see him fight somebody.
Oh yeah, totally. It will. They have to now. You don't introduce that character and then
yeah. And I think Boba even referred to him as like their gladiator, the Hutt's gladiator. So I'm assuming right now these people have like got this ring where they just got these giant, enormous people just duking it out like a gladiator. And I'm like, I want to see Boba Fett go in the ring and like fight with somebody, and then like have a Rancor in there or something.
I was gonna say, what'd you think of the Rancor scene when she dropped him down in there?
I really was hoping that it was going to come out, but I was like, that thing's got to be dead by now. There's no way it's still there.
I was like, nope, there's nothing there. There's none there. But that was funny. She even called it out. She's just like, there's not one in there, like, dummy.
Yeah. So,
I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, it's just like it's not something that I needed. It's not something I was asking for. But I'm interested to see where it goes. And I mean, I wonder. Do you think we'll get a tie-in to the Kenobi series?
possibly because, well,
You'd be dead in the
yeah,
universe.
no, but flashbacks we could,
Good flashback.
because the whole Kenobi series is going to take place after he drops Luke off, like as an infant. So that whole series is going to be taking place in the past, not future or present.
True.
So we could see him come across.
That would be cool.
Obi-Wan. Which, yeah, that would be cool because he hasn't seen him since he was a little boy at this point. So
I care far more about the Kenobi series than I do this series.
Yeah.
So if it laid groundwork for that, I would be super excited.
Because that comes out July. It comes out sometime this year.
I don't remember.
But yeah.
Well, that are my thoughts on this episode. I really don't have anything else to say. I think Steph Green did a great job directing it. I mean, she's pretty well known in the TV verse, so it was in good hands. I think it was better directed than the first one, but I guess that's a tonal thing, so that could go towards the writing or it could go towards the directing. I don't know. And again, the first episode was obvious because when Robert Rodriguez directs something, you could just tell it's Robert Rodriguez. Yeah, this one didn't feel like Robert Rodriguez. So
no, it didn't. And that's one thing. It's a dangerous game you're playing when you're using multiple directors to direct a series.
Oh, no doubt.
Per episode, especially when you're trying to create a story arc, and all these directors have to somewhat work together.
Oh yeah,
to build that arc for that character. It's almost like that playing that game where you're drawing a picture with somebody, a group of people, and everyone just has to draw one line.
Yeah.
To create a picture. That's kind of like what this is. You're directing each an episode to create a final picture.
It could really make it flop. I mean, there were definitely a few episodes of The Mandalorian where I was like, I'm not digging those 3,
Yeah.
But I like the series as a whole, but I really don't like those couple. But I think it works overall, and it gives people an opportunity to do something they probably may not have gotten if that door didn't open up,
Right.
Especially like a Bryce Dallas Howard, who's younger in the directing game, not like Steph Green or these people who have been doing it for a long time, but up and comers. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to have Taika Waititi.
Gosh, Taika Waititi. And I don't know, because he's supposed to do a movie too. So.
Oh, is he?
Supposed to do a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, because he did a couple episodes for the last one, or for The Mandalorian. But
yeah.
Which I need to pay. I probably should go back and rewatch it and pay attention to what.
The Mandalorian?
Yeah, which ones he like different people directed, just to see. Cause I guess I never really paid attention to it a whole lot. Be like, I really like this episode, and it was directed by this person. So.
Yeah. Well, it really shines through in something like this.
Yeah.
But
yeah. That's
well, do you have any other thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett episode 2?
Nope, that's all I got.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else either. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, so let's close this chapter. And
okay, so where can they find us?
Go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review on there. We will be dropping this to YouTube tonight, right?
Yep.
So you can check us out on there. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian episode 2 and
Book of Boba Fett?
Or Book of Boba Fett episode 2. My bad.
I do that every time.
Yeah. Just we want to know. Get into discussion with us.
Yep. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit up our DMs there and let us know what you think. That's a quick way to get a hold of us as well.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right. Bye.